let's get on with the get on. All right. So those were some of the reactions that I wanted to react to. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people voicing their opinions. We got Joe Budden. We got 50 Cent selling documentary on all these allegations. We got Charlene, Charlene the God, you know, over here doing this, over here doing that. So, you know, people are speaking out. But now we got a new allegation. Now we got a new lawsuit that Diddy is facing. I don't know nothing about this. I just saw the lead attorney. I've seen some people talk about it, but I didn't really do too much detail. But let's just get what's going on in this. Let's read what's going on in this new lawsuit. This is a new lawsuit. All right. So let's see what the lead attorney got to say. Salute to the lead attorney. Salute to the young lady. Let's see what we got going on.
Yeah. But it looks like the jury would be tainted in all 7 of these cases.
Yeah, and it's really the worst thing is really just that damn video of him kicking her down the hallway. That's just what sealed it. But having said that, a judge would give this man a fair trial. Even though he's human, a judge would be able to separate it. A jury's not going to separate shit. And in fact, the judge is going to tell the jury that you might have heard this, you might have seen that. You need to be able to separate it out. Are you able to separate artist Sean Combs, also known as P. Diddy? Me like this. I like to jump right into the content. Thank you again, Blue Bag. And so let's see what we got here. We got the United States District Court, Southern District of New York, one Crystal McKinney.
So Crystal McKinney is the one that's suing Diddy, P. Diddy, Bad Boy, Sean Combs.
Versus, AKA against Sean Combs, also known as P. Diddy, Bad Boy Entertainment, LLC. Crystal demands a trial by jury. Why do you want a trial by jury? Does anybody know? Does anybody know why is it better? Anytime that someone is suing Puffy, they always want a trial by jury. Why is that? Does anybody know in the comments? Because you have the option. You can either have a trial by jury or you can have a trial by the bench, by the judge.
Because they know that the jury gonna lead with their emotions and not the facts, you know, so they want the jury to not be as educated as, you know, the judge, right? Because the judge don't want to hear all this bullshit. They're gonna say this, and that, and that, and this. They're gonna be straightforward. But the jury is gonna be more of they're not gonna look. They're gonna apply a lot of different things to how they feel about the situation. So since this Cassie thing has come out, now they already got their mind set up that shit, Diddy guilty. But the judge is probably not going to see it that way. The judge is going to, you know, use this as a isolation. Like, I don't care what happened to Cassie. What about this? But in the jury aspect, they're going to put everything on the table. Not only this, but everything on the table. So I think she is relying on the jury to help her out in this case instead of asking the judge. Maybe
the judge, man, y'all are on it. y'all. I see a lot of good comments here. Let me go down. We got Two Rare to Compare says sympathy. Yeah, that's it. Trip Tizzle says emotional. Yes. Emotions. This is really good. Emotional. It's really hard to ramp up a judge who's been on the bench for 30 years and has seen everything. Seen everything. And the judge is going to know how to compartmentalize. Even if the judge has seen that whole Cassie video, the judge can be like, hey, that's the Cassie video that happened in 2016. What Crystal's talking about happened at a different time. 2 totally different events. I'm going to separate them. We're only focusing on Crystal. Only Crystal. But somebody's mama, somebody's mama gonna put them damn things together. And so that's what you want. You want to stir the pot. That's why everybody asks for a trial by a jury, because you want it messy. A judge might say, okay, well, Crystal, what you went through, it was bad, but it wasn't too bad. And I'm saying it wasn't too bad because you were not murdered. I've seen people murdered. You were not tortured. I've seen people tortured. You weren't even kidnapped. I've seen people kidnapped. So the judge is going to look back over the experience. The judge is going to say, Crystal, what you went through, it was bad. So I'm going to give you about 150,000. I think 150,000 is just relative to what you went through.
Yeah. So the way that the judge is going to look at it and the way that we as, regular people that might be on the jury, we're going to see it in two different ways, right? Because the judge see things just by the book. We see things by how we feel. Yeah, I just seen the video of Diddy do this. Oh yeah, that motherfucker going down. So what you seen from Diddy in that video of Cassie, you gonna relate that to what's going on in this case. So that might judge your judgment. You know what I mean? Cloud your judgment, right? That may cloud your judgment where you're gonna involve the Casey video with this. I see what he's saying.
Now, that's the judge. Get some women. Get some women on the jury, some of whom have been touched, some of whom maybe have been sexually assaulted, some of whom can relate to maybe what Crystal is saying. You think these women are going to give Crystal 150,000? Try 150 million. 150. He's got it. He's good for it. He's worth $1 billion. Don't even give Crystal 150 million. He's got it. Do y'all see? I mean, just astronomical numbers. And so when you go with the judge, you're really going by the book.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's get that. Let's just get to the details of what's in the lawsuit.
The judge. Everybody wants a jury. Everybody wants the shit show because that's where you get the money. All right. So let's see here. Let us start it up. AV, do you want to start right here reading off?
Yeah. So plaintiff Crystal McKinney, by and through her attorneys, Phillips and Associates, hereby alleges and avers that the defendants Diddy, Bad Boy Entertainment, LLC, Bad Boy Records, Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, collectively, Bad Boy Entertainment, basically all his companies. Sean John Clothing, she's suing the clothing company?
Clothing company, Jesus Christ.
And Universal Entertainment Group, collectively.
She wants some of the clothing money too, huh?
Referred to as the defendants, alleges upon information and belief as to all other matters as follows.
All right, so we got right here, it says plaintiff brings suit against defendants pursuant to the New York City Gender Motivated Violence Act to redress the substantial and lifetime injuries she has suffered as a result of being drugged and sexually assaulted by Sean Combs or P. Diddy. And I think this is the act that allows people to reach back from when, way back in the past when things happen. Because usually when something happens, guys, you got to speak up right then. Because if you don't, your claim can expire. And it expires by virtue of something called the statute of limitations. So let's say if something happens to you, you have 4 years to make a claim. If you don't make a claim in those 4 years, your claim is then extinguished and you can now no longer bring that claim. But with this act, they have allowed plaintiffs, but let's be honest, women, it's I think all of these, well, no, let me take that back because Little Rod, I don't know, Little Rod wasn't one. Little Rod was talking about something that happened in 2023. But the majority, let's say, are women, but anybody really can reach back. They made this specific law that allowed people to come in and file claims that were previously barred because of the statute of limitations. They say, hey, the statute of limitations, it extinguished your claim, but that's not really fair because you had a valid claim. So we're going to give you the opportunity to pursue that claim. It doesn't mean you're going to win, but at least you can try to pursue it. And so I think that is what this law here.
That's the statute. And in fairness, I think if not all, these lawsuits have been brought in New York for that reason.
That's exactly right. All right. So jurisdiction here. The court has jurisdiction over the action. Oh, shit. Crystal is in Georgia. I might have to take her to lunch. So tell me what happened, baby. Crystal is down here in the great state of Georgia. Puffy is a citizen in the state of California. Bad Boy is in New York. So venue is proper in New York. All right, procedural requirements. It talks about here the New York City Victims of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act. Do you want to pick it up here, AB?
Yeah, so this is more on the statute. It says the NYC Victims of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act created a look back window on March 1st of 2023, which runs for 2 years for survivors of gender motivated violence, allowing them to sue their abusers regardless of when the abuse occurred.
Wow. Now this is actually deep. I didn't know it went that broad.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what was happening with Bill Cosby. People were coming back from the 60s saying, oh, Bill Cosby gave me some Mickeys and stuck it up my ass. But how do you prove that if it happened in the 60s?
Exactly. How do you gonna prove that? Like, that's crazy.
So I was thinking, well, maybe they said, okay, you can look back 20 years. You can go back 20 years. And if you can prove something happened in those last 20 years, we'll give you a chance. It says right here that apparently you can go back to whenever, regardless of when the abuse occurs. Now we have to talk about that because that's a good thing and that's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Because if a woman comes, I'm 47. So let's say 30 years ago, I was 17. So let's say 25 years. Let's say over 20 years ago, some woman comes back and says, oh, Lee, when we were sophomores in college, you stuck it up my ass. And no one was around. It was just you and me. And I could have done a DNA, but it's been long gone. And, 20 years ago, people weren't really doing DNA like that anyways. But this is what you did to me. How am I supposed to protect myself from that occurrence, from that allegation.
Exactly. So anybody can just say anything. Anybody can say anything.
Because it's not like there were any witnesses. And even if there were, 20 years ago, people die, people move away, people forget.
Where's the evidence? How do you prove it?
Exactly. So you can make these claims against me.
Looking for a settlement. Just looking for a settlement. You can just falsely accuse someone just looking for a payday.
And then there's not really a way for me to defend myself because it happened 20 years ago. But on the other hand, it's not fair to women if I actually did take it and then she didn't say anything. And then 4 years passed or 6 years or whatever the statute of limitations might be. And now she can't say anything. And wait, let's talk about it. Why is there a statute of limitations in the first place?
All right, I ain't going to do it. We ain't about to go to this lawyer school. Let's see what's happening to the goddamn shit. I ain't got time for this shit. Good information. Now, if not saying that I don't want to go over this information, I just don't want to be here all damn day. I just want to see what's happening in the actual lawsuit. But he is giving some good information. So if you want to hear all this good knowledge that he's saying, go watch him. But I ain't here for this. I just want to hear what the hell going on. So if y'all want to, learn something about the law, definitely go follow the lead attorney. All right. Make sure y'all go follow him. Watch the whole live stream. But this ain't about that. I want to see what's in his lawsuit. Let's go.
My camera went. Or are you going to protect men's reputations and their ability to work, their ability to exist in society without having their reputation demolished? Sometimes it's one or the other. And with this statute, they're saying, hey, any woman can come back and bring a claim against any man for whenever it happened, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago.
That's crazy.
Who can defend themselves over something that happened 50 years ago?
That's correct.
Right? Yeah. So this is kind of what we're looking at. You want to start reading here?
Yep. The NYC Gender Motivated Violence Act revives any claims against a party who commits, directs, enables, participates in, or conspires in the commission of a crime of violence motivated by gender, has a cause of action against such party in court of competent jurisdiction.
All right, I'll pick it up here. It says the appellate division has held that sexual assault is an act of gender motivated violence. Under the law, as coerced sexual activity is dehumanizing and fear inducing. Malice or ill will based on gender is apparent from the alleged commission of the act itself. Animus in here is where consent is absent. It says the above described content of defendant Puffy Combs, including but not limited to Puffy's sexual assault of Crystal in New York City, constitutes a crime of violence and a crime of violence motivated by gender against Crystal as defined by the New York City Gender Motivated Violence Act. All right, so it's talking about here the parties. It says this is P. Diddy. He is a Grammy awarded musician, rapper, and producer. They should have put dancer here as well.
Take that.
Exactly. He was dancing it up. He was a background dancer.
Yeah.
Shout out. It says in 1992, he founded Bad Boy Records. 2008, P. Diddy was the first male rapper to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I did not know that. And this is interesting, too, because he never wrote any of his raps. Can you imagine being the first male rapper to get a star? You never wrote one rap.
Wow.
2022, Forbes estimated P. Diddy is one of the wealthiest hip hop artists in America and that his net worth is over $1 billion. All right, AB, do you want to pick it up here?
Yeah. Upon information and belief, the diddler has a long history of committing physical and sexual violence against women and men, as documented in publicly available lawsuits and extensive media coverage.
And let's stop it right here.
Women and men.
It says P. Diddy has a long history of committing physical and sexual violence against women and men. You say, okay, he has a long history of committing sexual violence. All right, show me the convictions. Show me the arrest records. Show me the indictments. Show me the crimes, misdemeanors, and felony grade. Is that what the sentence says? No. The sentence says he has a long history of committing physical and sexual violence as documented in lawsuits and extensive media coverage. This is not the way to document a history of committing physical and sexual.
Yeah, just rumors, right? You can't go into the courtroom just based on rumors. You got to have facts and evidence.
Violence.
Yeah, it's written poorly.
Yeah, this is damn near defamation. Now, again, Puffy had a harder leg to stand on, pause, before that damn Cassie video. That Cassie video is such a rap for him, man. It is such a rap. Kicking that girl.
Assaulted her when she was angry.
Yeah, this is damn near defamation.
Suit in the Supreme Court of New York County, alleging that Combs drugged her, assaulted her, and filmed a revenge porn tape of this assault.
Whoa, okay, so here we go right here. All right, so now we get to the meat and potatoes. Let me go back a little bit on that.
Yep. On November 16, 2023, Cassie Ventura, an artist signed onto Bad Boy Records, filed a suit in the United States District Court of the Southern District of New York, alleging that Combs provided her with copious amounts of drugs before assaulting her. On November 23rd, Joy Dickerson Neal filed suit in the Supreme Court of New York County, alleging that Combs drugged her, assaulted her, and filmed a revenge porn tape of this assault.
Damn.
On November 23rd, same day, Liza Gardner filed suit in the Supreme Court of New York County, alleging that Combs and Aaron Hall sexually assaulted her when she was a minor.
Jesus. Damn. And again, look at the dates, guys. This happened November 16th. This happened a week later, November 23rd. This, just like AB said, happened the same day. Another lawsuit was filed against Puffy, November 23rd. And then you got another one, looks like 2 weeks later on December 6th, 2023, a Jane Doe, an anonymous woman, filed suit in the United States District Court, Southern District of New York, alleging that she was a minor. And she was raped by Puffy, Harv Pierre, and a third unnamed assailant. And then shout out to Tyrone Blackburn. He's about to get paid. On February 26, 2024, Rodney Jones filed suit in the United States District Court of the Southern District of New York, alleging that Puffy sexually assaulted him and provided...
Wait, Rodney, you telling me? Allegedly. You been in them parties? Oh, free my nigga Rodney. Oh, free my nigga. Oh, Rodney. Damn. Rodney done been in them parties, man. God. Free my nigga Rodney.
Based alcoholic beverages
Rodney.
To minors.
Free my
All right,
nigga
so
Rodney.
this is getting deep.
Rodney been to them parties, man. God damn.
Guys, it's getting deep. We are going to get all up into
Dang, boy.
it. Let me just give a quick shout out. See who we got in here.
God damn. All right. So he been accused, well, taken to court lawsuits for especially last year, you know, ever since Cassie came out with the lawsuit, as you see, a couple of days later, a month later, 5-6 other people came, men and women came out the goddamn bushes saying that they was taken advantage of by P. Diddy, allegedly. And Rodney was one of them. Is that why you like chicken wings so much, Rodney? Damn, free my nigga Rodney.
Both sides when I'm over here. And then shout out to Smize, who sends 20 and 20. I think Smize was, he makes the shirts. Remember he made that weird shirt for us where it was like the ET thing and...
Right, when he was like in his early teens.
He was like 13.
Yeah, and he did that interview with Howard Stern, and he was talking about some of the shit that he saw as basically a preteen living with Puffy, and he was like, that shit was wild. So who knows the shit that Usher's been through. All right, says defendant Universal Music Group says February 6, 2003, Puffy signed a distribution deal with Universal Records, 2003, 5 and 9, Universal Music Group, Sean John Clothing. In 1998, he founded Sean John, retail sales over 450 million. As president of the company, Combs represented Sean John when he attended the Men's Fashion Week dinner where he met Crystal. All right, so now we're kind of getting into a little bit more of the factual allegations. Says Crystal begins her modeling career. All right, so
let's go.
We've got a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed young woman who is starting to model. Amy, do you want to pick it up here at 29?
Yes. At the age of 17, Crystal won MTV's inaugural model mission on December 5th of 1998, a televised modeling competition akin to Miss America, and was awarded a modeling contract with IMG. Shortly after, Crystal's career took off.
All right, so what we got here, Crystal apparently went viral. She won America's Top Model or whatever it was. MTV had some similar type of contest. And when she won, things started happening for her. Okay, number 31.
Yeah, Crystal modeled for Tommy Hilfiger jeans campaign. She was also featured in Macy's catalogs, Elle, Cosmo, and Mademoiselle magazines.
All right, so listen, she did blow up. All right, she got that contract, started modeling for Hilfiger, Elle, Cosmopolitan, Mademoiselle. Okay, she's doing things.
Crystal made appearances in television and film programs such as MTV's Total Request Live, TRL. Oh my God, what a throwback.
Hey.
Yo, I never knew that TRL stood for Total Request Live. I never knew that.
Fashionably Loud, True Life, and a movie with Joan Rivers. Furthermore, Plaintiff had international modeling gigs in Germany and Australia.
Total Request Live? That's a dumbass name. Total Request Live? Yeah, that was a dumbass name.
Where they have in. All right. And then let us keep it going. It says a fashion designer invites plaintiff to Men's Fashion Week to meet Combs. All right. So in 2003, damn. So this was over 20 years ago. This was a long time ago, guys. Guys, I mean, honest, can you defend yourself over an allegation that happened 20 years ago?
That's hard as hell. How I don't know. Maybe if you got facts and evidence, screenshots of video. I don't know. But damn, yeah. How do you? Yeah. I mean, but if you're Diddy's a situation, you gotta have proof of everything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. if you're in that position, yeah, I'm gonna have everything. You know what I mean? Sign papers. I'm gonna have cameras or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have something to defend me just in case one of you goofies try to come out here and try to lie on me. But I'm sure I don't know. I'm just speaking if I was in that position. But if I was in that position, I wouldn't even be in this position because I wouldn't be putting my hands on no woman. I wouldn't be talking to no minor. So, but still, people can still lie. People can still lie. It was a screenshot back then. I don't think people were taking screenshots back then. Huh? Yeah, this is a whole different era right here that we're talking about.
It comes out. I don't know what you're supposed to say. In 2003, when Crystal was 22 years old. So now, if Crystal was 22 in 2003, then she's like 43 now. Mm-hmm. So Crystal's a 43-year-old woman. Crystal, in 2003, when Crystal was 22 years old, a fashion designer invited Crystal to attend Men's Fashion Week. At the time, Crystal was engaged in modeling gigs in Miami and flew to New York for the event. The designer told Crystal that he would be introducing her to Puffy, who could advance her modeling career. The designer began to direct Crystal's appearance as he sought to ensure Puffy found her attractive. For instance, the designer instructed Crystal to go to Elizabeth Arden to get a root touch-up to ensure it was platinum blonde. The designer also scheduled a stylist to put hair extensions for Puffy. All right, this blonde hair, blue-eyed white girl need hair extensions. All right, Puffy
platinum blonde.
Okay, Puffy about to take this girl to Pound Town, and he is really about to do a freak off. Really about to do a freak off on this girl. All right. The designer then handpicked a black leather coat with a fur hood, a translucent chiffon beige V-cut shirt, fur-lined handbag, and jewelry encrusted jeans to play bedazzled jeans. Like, you're doing all this to get with Puffy, and then you go put on some bedazzled jeans. Okay. For Crystal to wear to the event. Due to the traumatic events to occur later, Crystal saved the unwashed clothing from that night in her closet, where they remain in a plastic wrap. Remain is present, guys.
Wow.
Wait. So she kept what she had on during this alleged situation in a plastic bag. So she been waiting on this moment. So it's been 20 years. So she has unwashed clothing from 20 years ago in a plastic wrap. Okay.
Oh, they got DNA evidence. They got DNA. Damn.
You know you're in trouble. Men, you know you're in trouble if you got 3 women around the world saving your cum in the closet in a plastic bag.
For 20 years.
20 years.
20 years? So the night that happened, she just held it off, wrapped it up in a plastic bag, and she held it for 20 years. That's wow. Damn. Shit. This is all allegedly. I know. I'm just here listening. Wow.
Years.
That was her insurance policy. It was something. If this is true. Now, this is we don't know if it's true or not, but this is interesting.
The bad side of fame, they're saving your sperm.
Rodney done been in them parties, man.
I love super chatted $2 at me. What you doing at den parties, boy? KB
what you doing
voice.
At them parties, Rodney? And Rodney is trying to be a rapper and stuff, so maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. Free my nigga Rodney.
20 years in the closet. Is it even, man, this is tough. This is when you know you're famous.
That whole time.
Women be saving like little cards from high school and shit. No, fuck that. We saving DNA today. We ain't doing no yearbook, I love you cards.
I mean, can you still trace DNA from a clothing 20 years ago? I'm sure that is that even traceable? I don't even know if the DNA would still be on there, would it? I don't know. 20 years ago? Damn. You can 200 years ago? Oh, wow, you can? Damn, that's interesting.
Photos, no, fuck all of that. We're saving the DNA from those bedazzled, jewel-encrusted jeans. Man, this is a tough one. And it says in her closet where they remain, and applies to remain as the present tense, guys. She's got that stuff from 20 years ago. All right. Combs makes promises of career advancement. You want to pick it up here?
Yeah. Soon thereafter, Crystal took a car to Cipriani downtown, where the designer was dining with Puffy and other guests. Crystal felt little control over the events as she was directed to what to do and put on display for the others in attendance. For instance, Crystal sat down at an empty seat next to the designer, but he insisted that she sit directly across from Diddy instead. Once seated, Diddy made a very public display of coming on to Crystal in a sexually...
Hold up, you talk to the audience. I gotta take this phone call.
Yeah, no problem.
Right.
We're gonna skip this part. Get back to
that, guys. Thank you so much, AV. So let's come back to it. So now they're at this dinner. This what is it? Eyes wide shut. And they've instructed this platinum blonde Crystal to sit directly across from Diddy. So do you want to pick it up here at 46?
Yep. Once seated, Diddy made a very public display of coming on to Crystal in a sexual, suggestive manner, which continued throughout the dinner. For others to hear, Diddy bestowed compliments on Crystal by stating, for example, that she was beautiful and her eyes were gorgeous. Later, at one more intimate volume, Diddy told Crystal, it says, quote, was going to make it big one day as a model. Diddy went on to tell Crystal that he had power in the industry and was going to help her advance her career. Diddy provided Crystal with his phone number as a good gesture of faith in his promises to help her.
Of course.
Throughout their interactions, Diddy was flirtatious, bordering on leering as he leaned across the table towards her. Diddy also plied Crystal with alcohol throughout the dinner as he repeatedly refilled her glass with wine. After the meal ended, Diddy told Crystal that he wanted to get to know her better. Diddy asked Crystal to call him a bit later. Crystal felt confused, but hopeful that Diddy would fulfill his promises to help her with her career.
All right, guys. So what do you do? Listen.
Okay. I'm getting all the information. All right. Let's skip this. Go back to the paperwork. All right. So Diddy, you know what I mean? Getting her a little loose. Allegedly. Diddy getting her a little loose. Getting ready for the after party. We all know what happens at the after party. Right? So allegedly Diddy at the party, you know what I mean? She say, Diddy getting her loose, putting a little wine in her cup. After she get done with one drink, put a little bit more wine up in there, allegedly, maybe, could it be? And getting her loose. All right. And then afterwards, hey, come party with me. I want to party with you.
She found Diddy and several other men seated together. She found that they were passing around a bottle of Henny and joints.
Jesus.
After Crystal sat down, one of Diddy's associates asked her, do you smoke weed? To which she responded affirmatively.
Hell yeah.
Diddy's associate replied, you've never had weed like this before. Crystal later came to understand that Diddy had laced the joint with a narcotic or other intoxicating substance. That's interesting, because wouldn't it have affected the other guys?
True.
Diddy passed her the joint, and Crystal took a hit, which felt very powerful. Although Crystal insisted that she had had enough after that, Diddy pressured her into more alcohol and marijuana by telling her that she was acting too uptight. Crystal felt as if she was floating.
Let's stop it right there. And again,
hitting that shit.
Thought experiments, guys. We're just talking. This is an adult conversation, and we're not team.
Hitting that shit. Smoking that shit. Make you feel a little crazy.
He takes her hand and just guides her to the bathroom, or does he take her by, the back of the head and the hair? You don't know what physically led means. A lot of women like to be. Puffy then shoved her head down to his crotch before commanding her to suck it.
Whoa.
Plaintiff refused. And again, this refusal is very.
Whoa.
This is big. What does refuse mean?
No.
No.
Does it mean that she said no?
That's a good question.
What does refuse mean?
They're very vague in the way that they've written this entire document.
Maybe a refusal was she kept her mouth closed for 2 seconds. Right? So Puffy grabs her head, puts her down there. She keeps her mouth closed for 2 seconds. Does the 2 seconds, and then Puffy keeps her head until she starts to suck it. Does the 2 seconds count as a refusal? If she keeps her mouth closed for 10, guys, listen, this is very important, guys. Listen to this question. This is very important. You're with a woman. Y'all are back at your place. Y'all are both high and y'all are both drinking. Y'all are in the bed kissing. Unbeknownst to you, she doesn't want to suck your dick because she thinks you're going to come in her mouth. She's a good girl. She don't do that. You take her head and you put it on your crotch. You're expecting your penis to go in her mouth, but she's got her lips closed. And so you're like, but you're drunk. So you're like, put it down there. She has her mouth closed for 2 seconds. And then she's like, well, she didn't tell you this, but she's like, well, She's stronger than me. This could get really ugly. I don't want to get beat up. So she starts sucking it. She sucks you off. You orgasm. She goes home. You send her a text. You get home safe. She replies yes. The next day she goes to the police office and then she files charges against you for sodomy, aggravated sodomy.
Damn.
20 to life.
Damn.
And she's saying that she refused the oral sex. Is the fact that she kept her mouth closed for 2 seconds, is that enough for you to say, okay, she did refuse and I took it? What do you think?
Shit, I don't know. I don't know how the law sees it. Shit. It's a good ass question. I don't know. Shit. I'm about to be celibate, man. Fuck all this shit. Y'all motherfuckers, man. I'm about to be celibate.